Hey fellows, welcome to my Let Us Play Crusader Kings 2. This is a Paradox interactive game that it's been out for a while now, but it's a very addicting game which I want you to always come back and play it for. Pretty much the whole idea of the game is that unlike the Total War games, it's like Rome, Medieval, where you had to conquest the map as much as possible. What you do in this is you have to just make your dynasty survive. So it does have a bit of conquest elements included, but it's mainly just keeping dynasty alive. So say you have just a king and his wife, and any children they have will be of their dynasty. Now in turn, say they had children, every single member that pretty much every single member tends to vary, but every single member that is born just about will be of your dynasty. And I'll continue. And you play it as just one particular character. So if I were just to play, I could play, if I started at Stamford Bridge, 15th September 1066, which is where the game starts naturally. If I just chose Duke William, who eventually will become William the Conqueror, they will all be of his dynasty. And say he died, so it says there underneath Duke William the Bastard, it says you. Just because I died doesn't mean it's the game over. I will play as his heir, and his heir, I think, for Duke William is Count. I think it's Count Robert. I think so. I think he's the your heir. But so pretty much the game doesn't end until your dynasty dies off. But they may get the odd occasion where you may end up playing as a completely separate country. Like say you just married off your son. It's like say if I just married, just an example, married Robert off to say Poland, and he became the king of Poland, and Duke William died, and had no other heirs, I could play as Poland as well as England, because he'd have control of Poland and control of England, so them two would be united. You don't have to play though as a king. So if I go on here, you've got this, just all the different maps. So you got this, starts off on default on terrain. Then you got independent realms, so this is just basically all the countries. Then you got counts, so these are just little individual regions, pretty much, as you say. You've got dukes, which are a little bit above a count, and these slightly bigger. So let me just go on England, just as an example. York, I think is, yeah, York owns like Northumberland, Durham, Westmoreland, York, and Lincoln. Then Lancaster owns this bit, and Kent owns that bit, etc. Pretty much how it works. And you've got kings, which make up quite a bit of the overall map. And then and as well as that, I don't know why it's not listed here, but you've got emperors, which is the one step above a king. So the only two empires on the game as stand, and that's the Holy Roman Empire, which is Kaiser Heinrich III, and the Byzantine Empire. I don't know if you're aware of this, but them two are technically, you could say, the same. They came both from the Roman, historical Romans when they died out, when they split into two separate factions, which was originally called, as far as I'm aware, the West Roman Empire and the East Roman Empire, and then as it developed over centuries, eventually became the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. So these are the last remaining of the Romans. Who I'm going to play as, I'm going to play as Castile, King Sancho II of Castile. The reason I like playing as Spain is because Spain's quite different than all the others. Because what happened with Spain was, you've got Galicia, Leon, and Castile. Now these were all originally owned by the same king. But when that king died, he had three sons: King Sancho II, King Alfonso III, and King Garcia II. Now what happened was, he split his lands between them three brothers. So as standard, they are all either against each other because they're all brothers. and it's really challenging because what you have to do with Spain is pretty much an objective of the game. You could say, like a false objective, is get rid of the Muslims, because you see Muslims own the vast majority of Spain. And basically the challenge is to try and get rid of them, but as well get rid of your two corresponding brothers. Historically, Castile were the winners against, well, victors you could probably say, against Leon and Galatia. And I'm going to try and see if I can continue that. You can also, as well, I didn't mention this, you can change the you can actually fully customize time periods. I could just start 1 day later than the starting day if I wanted to, or I could start, say, 100 years later. But you also get a list here that tells you, which the map does change. So I just go on, if I'll start on the very start, that's how it looks at the very start, and then if I go up to the beginning of the 100 Years' War, the map looks completely different, doesn't it? I mean, now you've got the Golden Horde by Genghis Khan, which is starting west through Europe, and you can see here Castile owns pretty much the dominating Spain altogether. You've also got Aragon, Nazrid, and Portugal being formed, and Portugal weren't there at the start. But anyway, I'm going to start from the very beginning, because you might as well. It's pointless starting from there because you haven't got as much time period as you'd like to start the game. So here we go. Let's see how it goes. Right. So I've got two email messages came up here. So King Alfonso VI now favours Princess Ulrica as the heir to the Kingdom of Leon. So that's my brother, as you see here. So I just go on him. It says your brother underneath him, and it says the same for Galatia as well. He's my brother. And I'll just close that down. And he also favours me as the heir to the Kingdom of Leon, but he doesn't favour him, King Garcia. What reason that is, I don't know. But either way, I'll just do a quick guide of what it is. So on the top left here, you've got your portrait, which is you, as it says underneath, and then just shows his traits and titles. So title has the Kingdom of Castile, the Duchy of Castile, County of Burgos, the County of Soria, and the Barony of Castroparte. He also has two claims. He has a claim on the Kingdom, actually a strong claim on the Kingdom of Galatia, and a strong claim on the Kingdom of Leon. And I think these also have the same. So he has a claim on the Kingdom of Castile and Galatia, and exactly the same. And if I go back on him, it shows his traits here. So he's a tough soldier, diligent, patient, rough, and brave. So generally good stats. And these are his overall attributes. Yeah. So diplomacy at the top, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. If I go one left, you've got your council, which works in a similar way to, like, you could say, Parliament in a way. So you've got a chancellor, you've got a marshal, a steward, a spy master, and a court chaplain. And you can appoint these certain tasks for you if you want. So I could get I'll go about that later. Your laws, these can be changed after, so it tells you here what kind of a voting system you've got, I think. Yep, it does. So it's an agnatic cognatic gavel kind, which is, it tells the ruler divided among his children, with the oldest getting the primary title. If the ruler has no children who can inherit, the law defaults to primogeniture. You get no prestige penalty for having unlanded sons and have 30% larger domains. Galvacan is very popular with everyone except the oldest child. Women can inherit but only under eligible means. So pretty much means your heir gets the Kingdom of Castile if his father dies. Well, it might not be his father, but the heir gets it when his liege dies. Next along you've got technology. This isn't as important I've just noticed this has changed because it was just a recent update this just came out. This is changed slightly. This doesn't come into big effect until towards the end of the game. Like, it does have an effect, so you get to choose what you want. So, if I just clicked, it's changed a bit. Since it's changed around, I don't quite know what they've done with it, but yeah, well, I'll just leave that for now. That's not really important. Military. This is how you just raise your personal personal levies and your vassal levies. So I can show us for my personal domains, I can raise 2,232 men, and for my vassals I can get 740. So I've got 6 vassals, all here. I can also, if I wanted to, I can recruit mercenaries, but these obviously have to pay a cost and then like an upkeep kind of thing. So obviously a lot of mercenaries, they don't want to just fight for you for no apparent reason. You need to pay them because obviously they're greedy little buggers. But each one has a varied amount of men. So these have 4,500 men, and the lowest one just 100 men. But even that's not really worth it. Just 100 men. It's only if you're a small state, I suppose you could say it was worth it. Then your intrigue. This is where you get to choose a plot if you wanted to. So I could say kill Princess Urca of Castile if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. And well as your decisions. It's like eventually the masterclass one is like almost hold a grand tournament, which you lose 200 gold for doing, but you gain 100 prestige. So, and it's very effective to use that. You get actually comes up on the top here as a decision eventually, and then you've got invite holy metacore, invite a noble, present debutant, hold a feast, hold a summer fair, go on a grand hunt and buy indulgence for my sins. They're just the ones, I might use them quite a bit. The main ones that most people use will probably be hold a feast, hold the summer fair and go on a grand hunt. Just because the kind just gives you something to do. Just in the past time to get a bit of prestige out of it. Factions, these are just people that would want to overthrow your rule or want something to gain from it, like maybe independence, or just like want to get rid of a certain law. So like say the most common one's law and crown authority, I've noticed. And then finally you've got religion, which isn't really important. I never go on the screen just because it's not, I don't think it's really needed really, so I'll leave that at that.